WPIAL Podcast, Triple Live High School Sports Network. Here to salute our WPIAL Player of the Week for Week 13. That's a fancy way of saying Championship Saturday at Acrisure Stadium. Our podcast presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates. Go local, go with Edgar, helping injured people since 1982. Well, it's November football. That means hashtag Luca Neal. It's his time to shine. He did it a year ago. He does it again this year, helping the Avonworth Antelopes repeat as WPIAL Class 3A champions. Probably the most impressive effort of all the championship games was the performance of the Antelopes. Luca Neal, kind enough to join us. Oh, Luca, congratulations on another title.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how does this one, we always ask this of coaches who win multiple championships, how does this one compare to that one? So I will ask you that question to begin. Compared to the victory a year ago, which was also very impressive in knocking off Central Valley, after knocking on the door your freshman and sophomore year, falling to Bell Vernon, how does this one compare to the title run a year ago?
I'd say this one was more fun because we haven't played them on it yet. Like last year, we played Central Valley earlier in the season, and so we kind of knew what we were like dealing with last year. And so coming into this game, it was like you didn't know what to expect. And so I thought it was more fun and more cool to win this year.
Not that last year was surprising. You guys had a really good team, and again, had been knocking on the door a couple of times. But this year, you guys squarely had the target on your back. A lot of players returning from the championship team a year ago. And you guys, it wasn't an easy you coming out of the Western Hills Conference in a very strong non-conference schedule. With each win and with each impressive win, I mean, it's got to build the team confidence, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Each win definitely, builds some confidence. But with like the target on our back, we don't really pay attention to like the critics or like social media. So we just play each game like a normal game and take it week by week. So
yeah, that's smart. To heck with that social media crap.
Yeah,
that's smart. So obviously, you guys are undefeated. Imani Christian was undefeated. What was the biggest? I don't know if concern is the right word, but as you guys were preparing for the Saints, what were some of the things? I'm sure David Davis and Gabe Jenkins come to mind, but what were some of the things you felt you guys needed to do on both sides of the ball to win going into that game?
I'd say defensively, just taking away the big play. Like with those sort of players, those explosive like sort of players, they can break one at any time. Like you miss a tackle and they're gone. So I'd say just taking away the big play and wrapping up, and then offensively, it starts up front, just getting a push up front, and then just doing what our head coach. He always has something schemed up and has something in mind. So yeah, just doing our roles and whatnot.
Sweet Duke John Core getting it done. Again, his third championship, the school's fourth championship, in beating Imani Christian 30-6. Kind of quiet offensively early on, and then Romello Harris, big play. And it wasn't so much, if you look at the replay, the ball was kind of tossed it wasn't like a great athletic move. And then he kind of zipped into the end zone on the short pick six. I think it was 12 yards for Harris. But I thought what was more impressive than the actual play was the read. He saw Jenkins backpedaling, red screen, stopped in his tracks, and almost took a step back before reaching up and making the catch and the touchdown. Just tell us what you saw on that play, and also what kind of juice that play gave you guys on the sidelines.
Yeah, no, I was reading that receiver that was coming in, so I was also like running up to it. But Mello, he's a baller. He's besides like football. I just love the kid. He's a great kid. And like his vibe, like you see him get hype after the plays. He was hype after his pick six, and so just like the all around like energy he brings is it's great. It's something you need on your team.
You guys had a field goal in the second quarter, so you're up 10-0, and it looks like that would be the result going into the locker room, 10-0 lead. You're inserted as running the Wildcat offense, and timeout. The question was, would you guys just go very conservative there, take the 10-point lead, because you weren't working the clock at that point. You weren't, concerned with timeouts or anything like that until the timeout taken, and then you rip off a 67-yard touchdown run. Fabulous effort by yourself. Just talk about that play and how big it was going into the locker room.
Oh yeah, no, it was huge. I mean, but we got really good blocks up front. Got to the second level pretty easily. Um, and then yeah, just broke it off. And yeah, right before half, that was kind of a lot of momentum, and kind of like the game was slipping away from them as we went into half. So we were confident, but we knew the week before or when they played North Catholic, they were down 16-0 or something. And so we knew coming out at half, like they're still in this game. We got to come back and come back out and stay on the pedal.
Yeah, and you guys did that and end up winning going away. I'm curious, you guys did this last year. You have a fantastic quarterback in Carson Bellinger. Dimitri Velaceris, an outstanding running back, different running back than what you bring to the table when you're carrying the football. You started off, with Bellinger and Velaceris, and you guys were moving the ball, having some success, and then they make the change, going more to a Wildcat with you, and the numbers kind of speak for themselves. You obviously had a really strong game. Is that part of the game plan, or is that something that was a gut feeling by Coach John Core and his staff to make that kind of change? Because it worked.
I'm not too sure. We're gonna have to talk to Duke about this, but I trust him, and I'm sure he knows when to go in it, when not, or whatever. But I mean, from my standpoint, it seems like it works, and so can't be like a bad thing to.
But you guys didn't really run it that often. I was sort of keeping my eye on you guys as the season went on. You didn't need to necessarily, but I'm sure it's there in the back pocket. But for the most part, it's been, Dimitri's had a strong playoff, strong regular season as well, carrying the football, and Carson's put up some big numbers. So you guys really haven't needed it, right?
Yeah, no, I think like the whole regular season, it was kind of the same last year. We didn't show it much last year, but yeah, I'd say we didn't need it, and Duke he preserves his players. Like
Yeah.
if we're up, four touchdowns, like we won't stay in the game, and so it's all about staying healthy and keeping your kids preserved.
Well, you're blessed in that you guys have some depth and you have some versatility, and I think that's the one thing that has made this offense so effective over the last couple of years is that on a dime you guys can just change things up in what you guys are doing. It's so hard to prepare for opposing defenses. You threw one pass, and if memory serves, and my memory doesn't always serve, wide open down the middle. Come on, dude. What happened?
Okay, no. Well, I was talking to my O line before, and they were like, "We're not stepping with you. Like, you got to get it out quick. Like, we're not gonna have a lot of time." And so I catch it and I just sling it like off rip, and yeah, I smoked it. Like overthrew him by like 10 yards. I felt really bad, but hey, you know.
Was Carson giving you tips afterward? Like, come on, man, you got to do. This is how you do it. Come on, man.
Yeah, he was trying to well, no, I think he was just more like, what was that? I was like, I couldn't tell you.
Here's the other critical thing. I thought, what is going on down there? And really, the only critical thing you can talk about when it comes to the performance that the Antelopes had on Saturday against Amani Christian. What was up with all the burned timeouts in the third quarter because of play clock situation? I mean, I think you used all three in the third quarter, right?
Wait, who, us?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even notice. There were so many like TV timeouts and stuff.
Right.
It was like it felt
But
like every other play.
I think there was like on one drive, I think there was twice that you were like, you know how you guys do the thing where you line up and then you step away and everyone looks at the bench for the play and then you get
Yeah.
line back up. Well, you guys step away and I'm sitting there thinking 7, 6, 5. They better hurry up, and then you guys just ended up calling timeout.
Yeah, no, I'm not too
All
sure.
right,
I
well,
don't know what was.
that's good. Well, then there wasn't really a problem per se if you can't remember
Nah,
it.
yeah.
So that's good. Again, we mentioned I asked you about just going into the game. What were some of the concerns about this Imani Christian team? What you guys were able to do? I mean, they have had a fantastic regular season. That's kind of obvious. But what you did to their stars from a defensive standpoint was kind of amazing. Gabe Jenkins has had a great year, not only throwing the ball, but also running the ball. He's limited to only 5 completions for 118 yards. Some of that coming, when the game was out of hand. And more impressive, he was only held to 55 rushing yards on 21 carries. David Davis, 38 yards on 7 carries. And it was just, different guys contributing on the defensive side of the ball. That's got to be a lot of fun playing with your teammates on defense when everything appears to be clicking.
Yeah, no, we executed very well. We knew that they were gonna come in that Hellcat Wildcat set, and we knew if we shut that down, like they don't want to live in like a shoot.
Right.
We basically forced like Jenkins to play quarterback and kind of throw it, which I think gave us a little bit of an advantage. And so yeah, we came out and just shut down that Hellcat set, and from there I think we were confident.
The coaches deserve a lot of credit. Game plan was well done. But at the same time, there were so many times where it's almost like you guys had a feeling defensively, I'm speaking of what was coming, and they couldn't get the edge. There was no success running up the middle. When they tried to go through the air, nobody was open. It appears that most of the guys, if not all the guys on this defense, this Antelopes defense, loves their film study because coaches can preach they're going to do this, they're going to do this, they're going to do this, but it does take a lot of individual effort, not only in practice, but also in the classroom, so to speak, in watching film and almost being prepared. When you see something, you react a lot quicker when you kind of have a feeling what they're going to do, right?
Yeah, no, our staff, they prepare us like so well. And then even just like you said, the players, like everyone's just bought in. Everyone, does their job and really buys into it. And so yeah, like I said, like um everyone was just together and really played well.
How driven were you guys coming back after how the 2024 campaign ended? Has that been a motivator, something that has pushed you guys?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we had a great season last year. But I'm sure anyone losing in overtime at the state game definitely left a sour taste in our mouth. Like I think like that's something we will always talk about. But we try and stay focused on each game each week, and we don't want to look ahead too far or whatnot heading into this year. But definitely, I think like the expectations, especially winning Whitfields last year,
Yeah.
like winning yesterday, it was great, it was amazing. But I know me and a few other guys, we want something bigger.
We gave some love to Romello Harris and his pick six. That wasn't the only defensive touchdown. And again, goes to say how well this defense played. Let's give a little love to Jaden Jones. He scores twice, pass from Carson Bellinger, and also the 40-yard pick six. Had himself quite a game.
Oh yeah, no, Jaden, he's also a baller. He was hurt last year, and so people might have been like, where'd this kid come from? But he didn't play much last year because he was hurt. Um, and so this year he's really shown what he can do. And Jaden brings like a whole nother like element to our team. Like us having those athletes and threats just across the board, it's hard to defend.
The follow-up question to that is, what percentage of Avonworth Antelope players are ballers?
Man, we got a lot of ballers, I'll say. Yeah, we got a lot of ballers.
All right. That's part of the reason why you guys are now two-time WPIAL champions, looking for PIAA gold in a couple of weeks. We'll talk about that in a moment. I think what's lost a lot of times in these championship runs are the unselfish moments, players that sacrifice. And you could go down every team and probably list 10, 15 players who, put the team first in front of themselves. And I remember talking to Coach John Core last year, and, we were talking about Carson Bellinger and the season he had, but then he sort of became an afterthought in the postseason because of you and your brother's success in the Wildcat. Same thing here. I mean, again, all indications are, he's out there when his number's called, he's out there ready to go, and he has produced. He has had a tremendous 2025 season. But, you go in and take over in the Wildcat, he's your biggest fan.
Yeah, no, the way Carson handled it last year. I mean, we went to the Wildcat, and the way he handled it was great. And I think it's just a testament to Duke and all the coaches, because we preach it's not about you, it's
Right.
about us. And so, yeah, I'd say just the unselfishness on this team is probably like why we're so successful. Like, the kids, like you put them anywhere and there's no complaining. And then like even like with the ball, like whoever gets the ball, there's no whining or anything. So
it's a team.
yeah.
And I think anyone who has seen you guys this year and who watched that 3A championship game realizes this is a team, and this is a team that can go the distance. You're 2 wins away. Early. I know you're probably still celebrating that championship, but Penn Cambria from District 6 is up next. Do you know anything about them? Yeah.
I haven't looked too far into it, but we played them last year in the state semis, and they were tough. So I'm expecting another tough game. But yeah, I don't want to overlook any teams or go into any games thinking, slighting any teams basically. And so I always go into a game prepared to,
rock and roll.
Yeah.
One last question for you, Luca. Luca Neal of Avonworth, our WPIAL Football Player of the Week for Week 13. You mentioned you saw Penn Cambria last year. Is it going to be easier this year to put that championship behind you and start to prepare for the states? Or, even though you guys beat them last year, was that tough having that dividing line of when we're done celebrating and when we go back to work?
Yeah, I think after every game, it's like you have the night to celebrate, but the next day, normally we have film, and that's like the cut line. And it's like, all right, like we're back to business here. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to prepare for Penn Cambria, hopefully win, and then I'm excited to see hopefully Northwestern Lehigh again for that rematch. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You guys owe them one. Do you guys get individual medals for football championships?
For the WPIAL?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. All right. They don't do that. Every other sport, they do it right after the game on the field. Obviously, they don't do it for football because there's so many more players. But I'm glad that you guys do get the gold medals that you guys can think about. This team, you guys, 10, 15, 25 years from now, you have that common bond now of back-to-back champions. Luca, congratulations on your great success. Both sides of the ball, outstanding, especially in the victory over Imani Christian. Congratulations. Stay healthy and get it done over the next couple of weeks.
Thank you. I had a blast. Thanks for having me.
Luca Neal, the great Luca Neal of Avonworth, kind enough to join us, our WPIAL Football Player of the Week. We thank our good friends at Edgar Snyder and Associates. We thank Chris Lackner. He's got to go. We appreciate him helping us out as well. Rebel Yell Podcast, Trib Live High School Sports Network.